non-championship event, the Austrian Grand Prix. We're a few weeks from the start of season 26 and waiting for the schedule to drop, and a good chance to go out here, get some glory, and get some lap times in the Formula One cars for season 26. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown. You will have a 10-minute qualifying session to set your starting position. At the end of the 10-minute qualifying session, we go to the 2-minute room. You get yourselves readied up, and we are going straight off the grid. You will be starting straight off the grid, Parc Fermé rules with the defaults. We are using the clean start rule here on the International Tour, meaning that we can call a caution flag on the first lap, but once we've taken a lap where the leader has completed a green lap, yellow flags are off and we are green to the finish. The only thing that can stop the race at that point is a red flag called by the race director. If the caution is called on that first lap, you just get lined up single file at pace speed in the order that you come through the accident, and we do a regular rolling start after that, but we will start from the grid on the lights. Today's race, we do have, as I said, the weather here, guys. Thunderstorm. It's gonna have a dry section. The rain's gonna stop somewhere in the middle for a little while. Don't know if it's gonna dry the track. Have your pit strategies ready for such an event. Obviously you're allowed to change your tire compounds and pressures and everything when you make the pit stop. So have them all lined up. We went through the button spiel to you guys: reset button, pit road speed limiter, KERS button, and what was the fourth one, Rita? And the lights. Make sure you got a button for your lights. You need to have your rain lights on here in this race. There's going to be a hell of a lot of spray. It's brutal conditions. We get that, guys. So you got to be patient. The officials were looking for guys who run hard and clean and finish the races. Even if you get off pace, it's a great chance to get some track time because it will rain during the season, and it's better to be ready for it. Besides, it's a long race. You never know what's going to happen. Mainly looking at the show and go rules, guys. If you don't pull up beside somebody before they commit to their turn, and then you're dive bombing them. You get up beside them going into a corner, then it's your corner. You got to get up to where they can see you. So just use patience. It's a long race, and there's going to be a lot. Everybody's going to get on different pit cycles, and you're going to have guys on full tanks and bad tires. So you just got to be patient with the traffic with each other. And biggest thing is careful into turn one on the start. No reason to go trying to outbrake people when we're in the wet on ice cold tires. Be careful with it. And you got a long race to go. I am going to be broadcasting. Those of you who aren't familiar, look up SCL Racing Network on YouTube. I am going to be broadcasting the race in the booth on the YouTube channel. Your race marshals are Rita St. James and Remy. Rita's your race director, so follow their instructions if you're given a penalty or anything of the like there. I'm going to go up in the booth to do the sound check during qualifying. Rita, I'll be back in just before the start of the race to announce the starting lineup. Is there anything that you need to add, Rita? Yeah, yeah. Like we've said, guys, here in SCL, the competition level's high. We're looking for people who run clean and run hard. We don't care if you finish 4 laps down and you finish this race. You're one of us. You know what I mean? That's what we're looking for. And like I've said before, I can't harp on it enough. Every point counts during the season. You want to get those provisionals that lock you in so you don't have to qualify in on time each week. And running the race out and getting the track time. Every series has had at least 1 or 2 races a season out of the 10 rounds in these kind of conditions. So it's a good thing to get it, get a shot at seeing what the car will do. But anywho, I'm going to turn you guys loose. I think Rita's ready to go. Give me a thumbs up that you understand the instructions. And cut loose disconnects. Probably went. He probably. See if he got kicked offline. I'll go ahead and invite him back in before we start. Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of strategy in in the Formula One race, guys. You're going to see guys get off sequence with you. Just run a smart race, I'll be watching you up in the tower and in the booth, and looking for you guys just to put on a good show. Yeah, we're just looking to get a good race in. As I said, it's good. Yeah, the season will be starting in a few weeks. Thank you. I'm just waiting for it to release the schedule. I want to get them out earlier, but I got to get it confirmed through the board of officials and all that stuff. But we should be at Bathurst in 3 weeks, and we should be at Daytona for Speed Weeks on the American Tour in 4 or 5 weekends. Can draft it. Gotcha. There's no worries here. Okay, I don't have cut loose online. He might be resetting, but he's got his invite, so I'm going to turn you guys loose for qualifying, Rita. All right, guys, good luck, and I'll be back in to give you the starting lineup when the session's over. All right, we're up here in the booth. You guys heard the intro. We're here for this SCL special event, the Formula One non-championship race, the Austrian Grand Prix. I'm your host, Carlin Hicks, here at the Red Bull Ring. We are in between seasons 25 and 26, and we've got a whole field of eager Formula One drivers looking to get a chance to shake down their cars here as we begin the 10-minute qualifying session. I'm going to retire and spectate myself, obviously. And we'll start us out here. Silver Bullet disconnects. We got guys messing off already. Hopefully we'll be able to get a clean start to the room. Try to handle this real quick. All right, let's get some action out on the track here. Jump on board with Rita from JME Motorsports. Rita has won the last 2 non-championship Grand Prix events in at North America at Sonoma, and the last one at Zhuhai in China. She's had a heck of a career in the SCL. She's put in about 10 seasons over mostly on the American Tour, former IndyCar Series champion, former Indianapolis 500 champion, as is her teammate, S2N Remy. Got a couple of cars that we're waiting to see if they make it back into the what's going to be hopefully a 13 or 14 car field here for the Austrian Grand Prix. Had a terrific race here yesterday at the Red Bull Trophy race for the International Le Mans Series sports cars. We saw Gunter, who's in the field today, pick up the win in the GTE class. Wow. Not sure who that was. We got Gunter, who picked up the win in the GTE class yesterday, and WKK, who picked up the win in the prototype class. But here we're running the Formula One cars, and it should be a good show. I said season in F1 will be kicking off in about 3 weeks' time at Australia for the Australian Grand Prix. But these weather conditions are something else. We got cars disconnecting here during our qualifying session. Silver Bullet made his way back in. Might as well go ahead and send Squash an invite since now he has a problem. Take a look at our commentary for now. Check out the broadcast settings. I will put these on for the time being. Here for qualifying, you guys have a comment, go ahead and chime in. Check out the website sundaycupleague.wix.com/scrn. Like being able to see my stuff here. We'll check the comments later on during the race. Take a look at Flat Out, who's still running now for the newly renamed Aussie Racing Team. But at the top of the board, he hasn't put on a lap yet. Let's take a look at Average Gamer, who in fact has put up a lap. Average Gamer now running for Extreme Speed Motorsports, entering his second SCL season. Very promising Australian driver. A lot of Aussies in the SCL, both on the American Tour and the International Tour. Goes a little wide there, but he's currently holding the fastest lap of the session. Got a number of veterans and a handful of international rookies new to the SCL here. As we've now got 13 cars in the field. Ignore the 14th car there on the list. That is yours truly, who's working the booth for you guys here today on the SCL Racing Network. A tentative schedule for the Formula One season 26 is Australia, Monaco, San Marino, United States at Watkins Glen, Spa in Belgium, Nürburgring in Germany, Brands Hatch for Britain, European Grand Prix round, which is yet to be determined, Fuji for the Japanese Grand Prix round. As Average Gamer having some kind of trouble with the car there. Let's take a look at where Guntar is standing. Guntar from the newly formed Green Mountain Enterprises picked up a GTE class win on this track yesterday in the Red Bull Trophy race. I expect him to be a very serious contender here today. Malstar, I will answer that question for you. It depends on who you're racing with, and if you're racing an SCL, the answer is yes. The main thing about it, the handling is a little more fluid, more realistic than Gran Turismo at this point. not as boxy feeling, not to mention our league, which ran for 21 seasons. We're now about to enter season 26. We've been around 10 years, and our first 21 seasons was on the Gran Turismo series. But to serve our purposes, which our American Tour series include Winston Cup stock cars, IndyCar series, Camel GT sports cars, including speedway racing and oval racing and all that on the American Tour, we needed the selection of tracks and cars that Project Cars 2 had, and that's why SCL now runs on this game. But personally, as a driver who competes on IndyCar, Winston Cup, and in Camel GT sports cars regularly, I like the fluidness of the driving a lot better, a lot more realistic. And we get great racing here. We run every type of major championship series you could want to run in spec cars that are all, equal to each other, and it's all about the driver and the strategy. And we run seasons that run about 10 weeks and then have a 5 or 6 week off season. And in that way, we've completed 25 seasons in the last 10 years. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. I've got 13 in the field now. Cut Loose has not made it back. And Average Gamer continues to hold the top spot, but just barely over Rita St. James. Rita running for JME Motorsports. Yours truly's her team owner. Heading into season 26, she's got a full-time effort pending here in the Formula One World Championship. And she's ghosting through somebody. That's Silver Bullet, I believe. That should cure itself when we get into the actual race. But Rita will have a full-time effort in Formula One World Championship this season and has to be considered top favorite. She was the season 23 IndyCar Series champion over on the American Tour. Season 23 Indianapolis 500 champion. Yep. Glad to see Pointy back, a driver who made his debut back in season 22, and we haven't seen him since season 23, I believe. But he's one of the international drivers, an Australian that's going to benefit from the expansion of the SCL International Tour. But we urge you guys check out the website, sundaycupleague.wix.com/SCRN. And look up SCL Racing Network here on YouTube and in the PlayStation Network community. So a lot of rookies making their debut here today, or their debut in this series anyway. But it looks like it's going to be 4 SCL experienced veterans are here up towards the front at the present time. Got a few more still out on the track as the session winds down. And despite the weather, we're looking for what should be an entertaining and quite strategic race. I know the JME Motorsports cars, Rita and S2N Remy they have a good strategy and they're ready. Average Gamer has terrific pace. As you can see, it looks like he's got the pole. He's got just a few cars out here still trying to get him. And I think we're going to have a good show. Hopefully we get a clean start. As Remy, on the last go there, Remy just puts up a fastest lap time there. Meanwhile, let's look at Rita. She's still on the track. Can she better it? She does not. It's your boy Squash, a second season SCL driver who has been extremely promising. Still running as an independent, has one last shot here, but I believe he's actually off the car now. Volume's good. Okay, thank you, Rita. I'm gonna head back in there and do the pre-race driver's intro, so hang tight, folks. All right. All right, guys, hell of a job. Good qualifying, and I'm going to give you guys the your starting lineup for the SCL Formula One Austrian Grand Prix. Meet your mic for us, Silver. All right, starting on the pole from JME Motorsports, a longtime SCL veteran, S2N Remy. Starting second from Extreme Speed Motorsport is Average Gamer. Starting third from JME Motorsport, winner of the last two Grand Prix exhibitions, Rita St. James. Starting fourth for newly formed Green Mountain Enterprises, yesterday's winner in the GTE class in the Le Mans race here, Gunter. Starting fifth, the very quick Dutchman, independent driver and rookie Sanzo. Starting sixth, the SCL veteran for independent right now actually. Longtime SCL veteran, reigning Bathurst 500 champion Enstaza. Starting seventh, another SCL rookie driver from down in Australia, making his series debut, Dalrymple Dimple. Starting eighth will be It's Your Boy Squash, heading into his second SCL season, still independent driver. Starting ninth will be Silver Bullet from Benson Speed Equipment. Starting 10th is Flat Out from the Aussie Racing Team. Starting 11th, the returning former SCL driver, Pointy. Good to have you back, brother. Starting 12th will be King Stinger, 89. 13th, another rookie making his series debut, Kylo Ren. Welcome to the field, Kylo. And that is your 13-car field. I am in the tower for you. Going to be broadcasting the race. Rita is your race marshal. You're going off the grid, guys. And first lap clean start rule. Rita, you got anything to add before we turn them loose? Yeah, just run a smart. Absolutely, run a smart race, guys. Run a smart race, guys. Finish the race, get the laps, and put on a good show for the broadcast. And we're glad to have you here for this race. Good luck, guys. All right, we are back up in the booth here, letting these guys turn it loose. Going to get on my monitor as these cars are going to be gearing up on the grid. You guys heard the starting order. Got the JME cars in the first and third spot there on the outside of the front row. Hopefully we won't have to throw the caution flag on the first lap. Get a good clean start. 58 laps on the board, roughly 240 or so kilometers for the SCL Austrian Grand Prix. The rain will slow up some point during the race, according to the live AccuWeather forecast. However, it's supposed to return towards the end of the race. I don't know that we're ever going to see the track dry enough to put the slicks on here. We had a little bit of rain that dried up yesterday in the Red Bull Trophy race for the International Le Mans Series. Tough to tell, but it looks like we should be pretty close to getting ready to go. 13 cars on the grid. S2N Remy's our pole sitter. He's got Average Gamer right beside him. As these guys are readying up. All 13 cars set on the grid. All right, here we go, folks. And they are green. Off we go down into turn one. This is where we're holding our breath. And I'm willing to bet we've got ourselves a caution here very, very early. I see a whole bunch of cars spun around, and I believe that is probably going to be a yellow flag. Remy goes way wide here in turn one. Yeah, I do see the caution call, so we're going to see the safety pace car come out. Grid start does not succeed, and it's going to be a rolling start from here on out. Not surprised to see that. And somebody missed their braking point in the spray going into turn one. Looks like Sanzo qualified 5th. He winds up all the way back in 12th. Tough break there on the beginning. We're going to go from the back of the field here on the favored chase cam with Silver Bullet, the Benson Speed Equipment driver here on the restart, and see if we can see what we can see in front of us here as they come to the line for the restart. So like I said, should be officially announced that 3 weeks from today will be the first round of the Formula One World Championship, the Australian Grand Prix. That'll be part of the weekend where the V8 World Tour kicks off at Bathurst. First week of July should be when we get to Daytona Speed Weeks for the start of the American Tour, which ought to be fantastic. Silver Bullet needing to close it in here. These puddles are going to be brutal. Going to be very tough for these guys to see, obviously, but they get a little feeling of what Niki Lauda felt like at Nürburgring, minus the horrific injury, hopefully. All right, looks like they're coming back towards the line. These guys are going to have to be very, very patient and careful as they're taking the green flag now. Couple of cars sliding around. Heading into turn one. Looks like everybody got through. No, they went around big time. And I believe we may throw the caution flag there again. I'm not going to be the least bit surprised if that turns out to be the case. Looks like we lost 2 cars. Disconnecting right off the start there. Motor trouble for 2 of our starters right off the bat. Dalrymple Dimple and Silver Bullet. Whether that was a blowing a fuse or blowing a motor is tough to tell. According to our track map and our information there from the AI pit reporter, it's telling us it was a blown motor. But tough break for them, never even really getting to go green here in this race and ending up out of the field. So we're down to 11 cars now still in the field, with Rita having, Silver Bullet sending through that he blew a motor there on lap 2. So mechanical trouble for him right off the bat. Rita is in the lead with her teammate S2N Remy right behind him. It's Your Boy Squash is up to 3rd, Flat Out is in 4th, and Gunter is in 5th place. We'll get to the back of the field here with Pointy again. Go for the chase cam start, see if we can see where the trouble might be. These guys are hitting some puddles. Wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of excessive attrition in this race, just from guys getting frustrated, making silly mistakes like the one you just saw. But that stuff happens, it's tough conditions. But I won a race a few seasons ago in the IndyCar Series at Watkins Glen in conditions very similar to this. And the track time is invaluable, so hopefully these guys can pull it together and get the restart going. All right, we're green. Pointing, getting a little aggressive there. Somebody going around wildly. Staza, It's Your Boy Squash. And we are under yellow again. We have been unable to get going here at the start of this race under the race conditions that we have. Thunderstorm blaring. These guys are just wailing into each other. And we've got our 3rd aborted start attempt now. It's Your Boy Squash went from 3rd all the way back to 11th on that restart. He obviously got tangled up in it. Enstaza came upon it. So not much to say about that. The conditions are tough. You can't really blame the drivers. They're not trying to get into each other, but they've got to get started and get some separation before you can really contend with trying to move around. Flat out there, moving up to 2nd place in the white, blue, and yellow car behind Rita right there. But you're going to have to see little patience, because they're only, I believe, this may be the last attempt at a restart. I'm not sure if Rita's reached that number yet. It might be 3. But track position's important here. These guys are going to have to be careful, get something of a dry line going if they can get the car underneath them, as they're going to be coming around the final corner here in Spielberg, Austria at the Red Bull Ring. All right, Rita St. James leads them around again. 11 cars of the 13 starters. We've had 2 blown motors on the opening laps. Dalrymple Dimple and Silver Bullet both out of the race. Somebody bouncing around out there. Carlin Hicks back with you in the booth. Been watching a hell of a battle for 7th place. We have seen the attrition. We had 13 starters in this race, and at 14 laps of 58, we're already down to 9. We've seen 4 blown motors, so quite a bit of attrition, but 9 cars still running and still running hard. Already a bit off sequence with each other as Pointy goes to the inside of Kylo. Does he hold the spot? No, he kind of pushes him out of the way a little bit. This is the best battle on the track right now for 7th place. Looks like Pointy's made the pass despite the bit of contact. We'll check it out up front here where we've got Gunter still leading since Rita went into the pits. He's holding about 3.5 seconds over Sanzo. So we got USA. Got USA, Netherlands, Great Britain, Netherlands, and Australia covered in the top 5. But yeah, attrition's been the story of the day. The rain's slowing down now about lap 15. You can see it. Track's going to stay wet, but might get a slightly better track condition here. Take a look at the battle for 4th. Remy trying to hold off Average Gamer, who just made a pit stop. Just ahead of him there. Working lap 15 of 58 here in the Austrian Grand Prix. As I said, 13 starters. We've already seen 4 disconnections, blown motors as we call them in SCL, which is a little bit high. We usually start races with 15, 16 cars and end races with 15, 16 cars, but we've seen it today here in the weather. Rain definitely slowing up now here at the Red Bull Ring. Average obviously had a problem. He went back 7 seconds. He must have spun the car. I didn't catch that. But these guys are in a battle. There's Staza, who's been struggling with that car. He's now over a minute off the pace. He's been around a few times, SCL veteran, the reigning Bathurst 500 champion. And he's just been struggling with that car, trying to find some grip, and I believe that's the leader. No, it's not the leader coming up on him. There's Guntar holding 2 seconds over Sanzo right now. Guntar, the team owner of the newly formed Green Mountain Enterprises. But we expect big things out of this season, particularly in the sports cars and Camel GT series and International Le Mans series. But he's running a heck of a race at the moment here. Leading the way, you see Sanzo coming up behind him, closing in, perhaps a little bit of tire wear being experienced here. You can see his lap times falling off a bit, particularly compared to Rita and Remy, who have already made pit stops, but they're perhaps just waiting for the track to dry up a little bit, and he can get that Green Mountain F1 machine going up at the pace that he wants. Sanzo's definitely been closing in the last few laps, as has Rita. Rita chopping major amounts of time. Let's get back on Rita St. James. You're started 3rd, currently running 3rd, but made a pit stop just a few laps into the race, obviously to put on the tire compound or pressure she wanted, and she's just been chopping away 2 seconds quicker that time, as she's 5 seconds on track ahead of her teammate, the pole sitter Remy. Let me invite one of our blown motor guys into the field here, or into the room here real quick. Maybe we'll get Silver Bullet to join us here in the broadcast booth. Let's jump on board with our race leader and give you a view of a lap from the cockpit as he's coming down towards turn 2 right now on a track that's drying pretty quickly. Consider all things considered how hard the rain was coming down in the cockpit of this SCL Formula 1 car. Down towards turn 3 as his lead has expanded now to over 3 seconds.
How you doing, Carlin?
How you doing? Make sure you got your mic shared. Hang on just a second.
Always allow.
All right, sorry about that. I'm back with you. Ooh,
Not a
somebody's
problem.
around. Is that Stas again? Yes, it is. Poor Stas, longtime
Wow,
SCL
tough day for
veteran.
him.
Yeah, he's had a real tough day. More than a decade in the league, reigning Bathurst 500 champion, as I said before, and he's just been struggling with this car in the wet. Now more than a lap down, and
Wow.
just struggling to get a finish. Let's get some. Get
How's
us
that
back.
new driving new, Kylo? Let's get an eye on him.
Who's that?
Kylo Ren. Let's get an eye on him. He's not doing too bad in his
Yeah,
second
Kylo
race.
Kylo in the Monster Energy car, running in 8th place right now. Out of remember what was 13 starters due to the motor problems. Kylo was in a heck of a battle with Pointy. Got a little roughed up maybe by Pointy to make the pass. That was about 5 or 6 laps ago. We were on board with it. Kylo,
track conditions definitely a little rough out there.
Yeah, track conditions were tough. The rain has stopped now, and you're seeing the track dry up a bit. But Kylo was running a real hard battle with Pointy. He's by no means out of it. These cars are off sequence. Some people have made pit stops, some people haven't. But you had some time on the track today in the conditions. We know the rain's coming back. What are the drivers looking at when you're in that kind of condition? What's the hardest part, the grip or the visibility?
Well, I think a mix of both, really. Some corners are grip. Depends on where the puddles are forming. Some are really thick. You know, it all depends, I guess, on how your driving preferences too. If you're going to go in it hard and brake, you have a more chance of sliding around and lose control. Definitely have those aids on helps. But let's get an eye on Gunter here. See how he's doing.
Gunter's up top. He's been leading for about the last 15 laps when the front runners made an early pit stop. He's as the track's drying, his lap times have gone up or gone down, I should say, gotten faster.
Well, Sanzo is catching. He's reeling him in.
Sanzo was within a second and a half of him about 5 laps ago. He had a little trouble, and they've gone back and forth. I think the obvious thing here, Gunter's got a consistent car. Sanzo hasn't been as consistent, but he's been putting up the occasional fast lap. Last lap here, just a 0.3 difference between them.
Rita back there in first, she's catching them too.
Rita has been catching them ever since she came in and changed her tires on about lap 5 or 6. She went from 20-something seconds back and has been that last lap. She's the same speed. Front 5 cars are all running pretty much the same speed, but that last section she just went completely
Oh, Kylo in the grass there. He went wide.
Yeah, Kylo having a little trouble. He is running a solid race. You can see by his lap times on the board there, folks. Not too bad. We've got...
Oh, Pointy just took the sign up there. He didn't like that sign.
Let's find ourselves a battle for position. We got one. Let's get some chase cam time as Rita is now reeled in. The rookie driver, Sanzo, will get on her chase cam.
See if he can hold them off.
Rita's getting faster and faster now as the track dries. Just ran fastest lap of the race, 1:14.8. Working lap 22 of 58. She's reeling Sanzo in, who has yet to make a pit stop.
That will play a factor in the thing.
Oh yeah, how well the JME cars, Rita and Remy both made an early pit stop. Obviously wanted to put something specific on the car, and were willing to make the early stop to do it. It's obviously got them going fairly quick. You got access to the broadcast that we're on right now, Silver?
Yes, I'm watching it right now. Yeah.
I don't want to pull it up on the screen. If you want to read out the comments to me, we'll try to answer anybody's questions that's watching.
Sure thing. I'll do that. I'm on my phone too, so I'll definitely have a look at it. Big Blue chiming in. Good race. Good to have you watching, Big Blue. DGS, how you doing? Sean Doyle, shout out to you. Mo Star, how you doing, sir? He asked, is this game better than Grand Prix?
Yeah, that was earlier. I already talked to him earlier in the broadcast. Yeah, we had a little talk about that. I'm on board, or on the camera now, trackside with Average Gamer running in 5th. He was your second place qualifier. Made a pit stop earlier, lost some time. Now heading into his second SCL season, he signed up to run for Extreme Speed Motorsports.
Right on.
And you can see a dry line forming there, but we know the rain is likely to return. We're only on lap 23 of 58.
It's the big question.
It could be anywhere. I would say when you got a 3 windows like we use, the variance is about 25-30%. So that could mean anywhere from halfway to 10 laps to go. So my guesstimate would be between laps 30 and 50.
Staza spins out.
Staza's around again. He's having
into the wall.
He is having just a tough time with these cars.
Looks like a suspension issue.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Take a look at him. Does it look like he's on slicks?
I think he might be.
I think he's on slicks, and that might be the problem there.
There he's coming in now. I think the pit crew told him to come in and change it to the wets.
No, he might be out. I can't tell because he's in the water. He might just be parking the car here.
Let's have a look here. What is he doing? Oh.
He's rolling very slowly down the pit lane as if...
Almost like a transmission problem.
Yeah, as if something's wrong there. As I said, we've had a lot of attrition in this race with people having motor trouble, so he could be having some kind of... Yeah, yourself included. He could be having a mechanical problem. Yeah, and that's exactly what it was.
Wow.
He was in the midst of blowing...
For the day.
Yeah, so we've got 5 of the 13 starters now. This is an extremely high...
That changes the race.
Yeah, it's an extremely high attrition rate for an SCL race. We generally do not have that many cars going out in one race, but it has happened as I'm on board with Sanzo pitting from 3rd place, I should say.
Okay.
Full service, I would imagine.
It's your boy stays out. He'll pick up a position, P5. He'll pass Sanzo in the pit. As he looks to now.
Yeah, it looks to me like Sanzo took a lot of fuel. I mean, a lot of fuel. But he's back out in 5th place. We'll see what. Obviously, with that much fuel, he's not planning on coming in again. So he's going to have to make these tires.
Itchy boy, he has about 9 liters of fuel left.
He's going to be coming in. There's quite a few cars waiting to pit. As we're back out here with Gunter still in the lead now, 6.5 seconds ahead of Rita. Just 8 of the 13 starters still running, but they're running in a compelling race because these cars are all off sequence. Don't mind the intervals there. We're going to see everything come cycling back at some point.
S2N reeling Rita in there in third place.
Yeah, Remy reeling in his teammate.
That's good to see. Average not shy off. Itchy Boy and Sanzo are pretty close by seconds. But
we're looking to see our leader when he hits the pits. Gunter's going to be pitting soon.
That's going to be it. Who
and
will go with him?
The question is here is, are they going to come out and go? Is somebody going to go with slicks? Somebody going to go with with dry tires? I mean, that's the question.
They're going to take the risk.
You know that if you do, you're going to have to pit again because there's going to be heavy rain. Yeah, there's going to be heavy rain coming back at some point. So it's tough to tell. I think the puddles are going to stay too big.
Kylo's coming into the pits now.
All right, Kylo
hit. He has 5.5 liters of fuel, so I think he's taking fuel and tires as well. Maybe fuel. We'll have to see.
Kylo going very slow down the pit lane.
Sliding even. Who's that in front of him?
That's Gunter. Gunter coming into the pits. Our leader heading into the pits. He will not be penalized for that. He slid through a car as he locked it up.
Rita takes the lead now.
Yeah, Rita cycling forward to the lead. We got Gunter on his pit stop. Let's see how far back he comes out. Very quick stop. Good stop, despite the fact that he slid coming into the pit lane, trying to avoid Kylo, who was stuck in the puddle on the way into pit lane.
Kylo's still in the pits. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, he's still in the pit box.
Looks like he's requesting a drink of water.
Hoping we don't have another mechanical issue. He's been grinding it out back there in 8th place. Has been running pretty well, to be honest with you. He was
running really well,
got another car in the pits. It's your boy Squash misses his pit box. You can see him right there.
Wow. Yep.
Oh, he's losing a ton of time trying to get into the pit lane.
He's it now.
Yeah, he missed it by a mile.
He just missed it again.
Yeah, he's finally in the box now.
Okay, yeah.
Squash missing badly. Kylo finally back out on the track, but it's your boy Squash losing a lot of time. And it looks like Squash is going to get rolling. We head up to the front where your leader, Rita St. James, with her teammate S2N Remy from JME Motorsports right behind her.
Yep. Average. Ran wide a little there. Gunter coming to the straight now.
Gunter about 15 seconds back after that pit stop, which is a good stop. That's a good interval here. You know that whether or not he's going to be going the rest of the way, I'm not sure. The track is very dry in some places, but very wet in others. And these cars that are about to pit have had to make that call. Let's take a look at someone like Gunter. He's still on wets, according to my view. So I think they're going to stay on the wets. But Rita cycling up to the lead. She's won the last 2 of the...
But can she go for 3?
Yeah, special event Grand Prix. Yeah, can you make it 3 in a row here in the special event Grand Prix? She's got a lot. You're talking about a driver who... she's been one of the top drivers in the IndyCar series for several seasons. She's very familiar with the open wheel cars on tracks like this.
I'll be honest with you, Carolyn. It all comes down to experience.
Yeah, Rita's got the experience. She's heading in.
The experience.
Yeah, this will be her 9th SCL season coming up this season. So she's got plenty of track time. And like I said, she's been a regular full-time driver and a championship driver in the IndyCar series, and so she's run plenty of open-wheel cars. I really expect her to be one of the favorites in Formula One this season. She is doing a full-time ride.
He's impressing me right now.
Including that win yesterday in the Le Mans Series race here, Gunter and the whole Green Mountain team are going to be a force. They're going to be legitimate contenders for the Campbell GT Team Championship this season.
Okay.
There's no doubt. They're definitely going to be a contender for that team championship this season. They have a strong lineup. They have a very strong lineup made up of drivers who are just breaking out in the league.
Right.
Second, third season, fourth season, guys that are just about ready to
and then
break
she can
through.
even pass on that experience to the newer drivers, and definitely giving them a pointers need be.
Yeah, it makes the whole team stronger. That's the concept. Well, Remy now.
It went wide there.
Let's find somebody who's coming up towards the start-finish line. We got Gunter. We're going to give an onboard here in the cockpit with Gunter as he crosses the start-finish line, goes all the way to the right to try to get some dry or wet track.
Let's take a ride along with Gunter here for a lap,
Yeah,
Carlin, and see what he does.
yeah, in the cockpit. Just made turn 1. Heading down towards, they might call this turn 2, but it's not really. It's a veer.
I call that the suicide corner.
Yeah, big hard turn, runs up on the curb very well. I'm not sure if he did not change tire compounds because he's slower now than Rita and Remy on the wets. So he might have gone with the slicks.
Right.
Because sometimes you won't see that on the graphic won't change and will still look like he's on wet tires. But maybe he is on a heavy car. He might be on wet tires and just on a real heavy car. And he needs to get a few laps and get the tires heated up and get the fuel burn down a little to start turning his laps. He's getting a little quicker now. As he comes through this section, you want to ride it up a little bit here if you can. Cut this corner just slightly, just like that.
Right.
And back,
good control.
Yeah, back down the front stretch, and there's a lap at Red Bull Ring.
Big Blue. So what's the next test exhibition, he says?
We'll be announcing them this week. There'll be races this week. However, today, be hopping on the SCL corporate jet to get back to Indianapolis. The Winston Cup Series has a race this afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4:45 p.m. call time for Winston Cup cars at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Winston Cup special. So we have another exhibition this afternoon. That entry will open up at 4 Eastern. Call time's 4:45. Green flag at 5 p.m. Eastern. That is today. So I'll
definitely be suffering from a little bit of jet lag.
I'll be
from that, Carlin, I think.
Oh, I will. I'll take a nap and then take a nap and then hit the track.
As for myself, I'll be back at the shop and preparing to go to Indianapolis.
All right, looks like we got Pointy in the pits. He makes a stop, comes back out. Might be...
Pointing, getting slow there. He's up to speed right now. Looks like we're going to have a battle for second place up here. His average comes up to Remy, right behind him.
No, that's not Remy. That's Lap Car.
Oh, excuse me. Lap Car, yeah.
Yeah, he's... Gets into it with Squash, I believe.
Squash, yep. Let's take a look back at Kylo. Battle there.
Oh, hang on. I'm right here in this one. Average Gamer's trying to get by. What are these guys doing?
Whoa, we almost turned him. He really wants that spot. Look, defending.
No, Squash gave him the spot because he realized he chopped down on him there. But Squash is running fast enough to where he would, if he hadn't had trouble earlier on, he'd be right up there with these leaders.
This is a good battle, Carlin. Let's watch this for a minute and see what happens here.
He's going to leave him for now.
Oh,
get back up.
I just received a invite from my boss. Maybe I'll jump back in a minute.
Your boss?
The boss is calling, Mr. Johnny Benson. I
yeah,
answer that.
He's asking for an invite to the room or the party. Invite him to the race room if you would. I'll invite him in here. But yeah, invite him to the race room. Let's get back up front. I know that no, you don't have to quit. You just got to go into the online lobby and invite him. If you have to leave and come back in before you get to the monitor, that's fine too.
Yeah. I
All
think
right,
he
looks
just
like
sent me a parody invitation. I'll be back.
Rita and Remy, both of the J. Remy spins it coming into the pits. Rita makes a
Oh, there
clean
he is.
stop. Remy has spun it. Oh, he is in dire straits. He is taking out Rita's pit crew. Rita's probably being held. Rita's definitely being held there while Remy gets around. Oh, this is just high drama here on lap 34. Welcome to the booth, Mr. Johnny Benson Jr., the SCL president, owner of BSE, checking in on his driver, Average Gamer, who's currently running in fourth. He's in the pits as he gets it out and rolling. And Gunter has taken over the lead. Rita definitely got held in the pits when Remy looped it coming into the pit lane. That's the pitfalls of pitting as a team on the same lap. Coming in at the same time, something goes wrong like that, it's going to cost you. I remember the season 24 Indianapolis 500 when I was running with Cat Guy and had to make the last pit stop from the lead, and he looped it behind me, and I got held. It happens. But meanwhile, I'll get back up front here. Gunter's coming up on some lap traffic. Kylo Ren, I believe. We had 13 starters here in this race, but a lot of attrition with the motor. It was all disconnects, so it's just been one of those days. But you running, hopping on the corporate jet and running at Indianapolis today, JB?
I still haven't talked to my sponsorship opportunities about that yet. I might be.
Yeah. You're not driving unless they're paying, huh?
I don't do nothing for nothing.
That's right.
Ooh. Aggressive move there from Gunter.
Wow.
He's trying to get by lap traffic. You see, the problem is, I believe that's Squash. Squash is getting lapped, but he's just as fast as the leaders. He's just he's got himself a lap down because of trouble he's been in. Let's take a look at Sanzo. He misses his pit stall.
Yep.
He qualified fifth. He's running in fifth.
Gunter not very happy with Squash, sounds like on the radio.
Apparently not.
Squash, I really need you to not race me right now.
That's one of those things when you get a lap down, but you're just as fast as the leaders, and it's been track conditions or whatever that have caused it. You find yourself in that position where... What's that?
Stuck, like you're stuck in between lap traffic. It's kind of hard to...
Well, it looks like Squash was pulling off the track out of the way, trying to honor the blue flag and put himself off, but you don't got to do that.
You can't blame the lap traffic for trying to stay on a lead lap, but
no.
It's frustrating when you're the leader.
No, of course. Absolutely. All right, back on board with Rita. She's trying to close in on Gunter, working lap 36 of 58, and the rain is starting to return. We saw the track drying for a short spell of time there.
Will anybody come in and change wets right away? Let's see.
It depends. I mean, I don't think most people. There might be a couple guys in slicks, but I don't think so. I think most of these guys stayed in the wets. I don't think the track ever got dry enough to not using the real. Yeah, using the real time now. The track doesn't change abruptly. It's a much more smooth transition, and as a result, you end up with in that case they know full well. Rosarita burps it there to give him back some time. Right. You know full well that you're going to probably have to stay on the wets.
And all right, it's over halfway done, so yeah, you probably want to maintain that track position as well.
Here we go. We got Average Gamer looking to make a move on Remy for third place. They're going by a third car.
Wow, 3 wide. Oh no.
Who is that?
Shadow holder boys. Oh, spins them.
Looks like Kylo took the worst of that.
Rookie driver.
Looked very good the other night. in Pratt, and he just left the
Oh.
session. So I'm guessing he wasn't too happy
Wow.
about that.
Blown motor again from Kylo.
Yep.
That's the second race. Tough break for that team, man.
That looked like a left to me. He might have blown a fuse as opposed to a motor. Probably wasn't too happy about getting punted by cars coming through there. But it is what it is. You want to earn championship points when we're in season. You have to finish these races, and that stuff happens. You know, racing.
Maybe we can get him on and get his thoughts.
Give it a shot here. Why not? But anyway, we'll get back up front where Guntar is holding a narrow lead for Green Mountain over Rita St. James. 7 of the 13 starters still out. When they hit the line this next time, there'll be 20 to go. And I better get on chase cam with Rita. She is all over Guntar now. We've got battles for the lead and a battle for third.
Wow. 15 cars down to 7 now. A lot of blown motors today, Carolyn.
This has been one of those days. That was the first one with Kylo that wasn't a clear blown motor. They were all disconnects. And so, first time we've seen that. We didn't have that problem yesterday. So, I mean, who can tell?
Looks like he wasn't too happy. He just said he's going, I guess. Who knows? Tough break for that team, regardless.
Yeah, it happens. It's
This track is
racing.
getting
Really well.
very saturated. There's a lot of standing water in the corners. I see, you know, every once in a while Gunter will dip a wheel off into the standing water, and that's no control.
Oh yeah, it's thunder. This is exactly what the race conditions were at the start, and then the track dried a little bit when the rain stopped. But here it came back, and it's a tough call. I don't believe anybody's on slicks, but you know, can they stretch the tires? You know, that's a big question.
Rita goes wide in that corner.
Give a rotating camera view here. Back up front with Gunter, who has led.
Yeah, it looked like going down into turn 1 there. Rita just locked it up going into the corner and then barely avoided running into Gunter. Went very wide and lost a lot of time.
Oh yeah, the track conditions are changing quickly. It's thunderstorm conditions. The puddle, like right there on the inside where we're looking at where Gunter's at. You cannot hit that puddle. If you hit that, you're going to lose a lot of momentum. But Gunter, Rita, Remy, even Average Gamer from last season, they all have experience in the wet. We've had 2 or 3 IndyCar rain races and Camel GT rain races over the past few seasons, so they've been in this before. And they know what to expect. I know Rita and Remy made an early pit stop. I'm almost certain it's because they felt they had something on the tire pressures in the wet. And now as it puddles up, it's just getting tougher and tougher. You just got to try to find a line to run. But Gunter, as we said, got a win yesterday in the GTE class in the Le Mans Series race here, and might do it again. But JB here looking forward to today's Winston Cup exhibition at Indianapolis, the Winston Cup Special. I've been practicing for that one all week. I'm hoping I wake up from my nap in time to actually race it. But I've been getting out of work late all this week.
Yeah, that's the real reason I got on here, is to try and help Silver out with his pressures and get him dialed in, but we're too involved in this F1 race to do any of that.
Maybe after we can do that, Johnny. Do you reckon?
Yeah, you got about 20 minutes here. 25 maybe.
I hope not. Try and keep it clean.
Nice punt.
Now you can see by the lap times they're falling back a few seconds from the top of where they were. Before we get back to the lead battle here, let's take a look at Pointy. Pointy, of course, driver who made his debut back in season 22. We haven't seen him in a few seasons because he hasn't been able to run on the time frame of the American. Yeah, the time frame of the American races. He was a JME driver back in season 22.
Really?
Actually, yeah, but now he's been making these races, and
Good to have him back, nonetheless.
yeah, he's a good. You can see by the lap times here as the rain comes in. He is another driver that, were it not for pit strategy and early trouble here in the race, would be right up there with the leaders. He's been running lap times right up there with the leaders the whole race. Right now, that last lap he was the second quickest car on the track.
Is he a veteran?
He started in season 22, ran some in season 22 and 23, and then couldn't make the races in the American time slot. So we've seen him in these because he's one of several drivers we've seen in the past that we've seen in these because it fits his time frame. But
a lot of people come and go.
Yeah, a lot of part-time drivers too. That's how it goes. But Pointy we've seen pretty regularly around this time slot. But yeah, he's putting up better lap times now. Meanwhile, back up on Rita, who's still trying to stalk. Oh, we got Average Gamer got by Remy.
Hey. Yep.
Average Gamer making the pass on Remy to move into third place. Remy was your pole sitter, just over Average Gamer. While they're battling it out.
Wide again in turn 1.
Oh, his spin.
And Average losing it there in turn 1. Now he's going to get back on it on Remy.
Good recovery, eh? Good recovery.
I've had this the last one of these races I broadcasted too. I had a battle for the lead and a battle for the podium. And you got to go back and forth between one or the other.
Yeah.
I'll
keep an eye out on the monitors.
I'm watching the battle for the lead here. It's tightening up in some corners, and it looks like Gunter's able to pull away down the straightaways. Rita's right there in the corners.
She is coming. Go ahead of steam here. Let's see what she does with this corner. They both run a little wide.
You're allowed to run there on that.
Oh, Gunter slides a little bit on the rumble strip.
Looks like both of them did.
She is what they call preheating Gunter.
Yeah, she's trying to find the right spot.
Sizing them up.
That said, all her experience in IndyCar and been, 8 career wins, a championship. She knows how to run these kind of open wheel cars on this type of track, and they had a good strategy. I don't know that she's running to the finish of the race, but I would believe that she's not planning on coming back in. Just like her teammate Remy right behind her. I don't think she will. I think she's out there for the go. But I think Gunter's in till the finish.
Some lap traffic with Pointy right here. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, let's get on the chase cam on Rita
here.
How
are their fuels, Harlan? They both have lots of fuel, I'm assuming. Is anybody going to run out?
I don't announce that over the broadcast in case the drivers are listening. But just given what I can extrapolate from when they pitted and what everybody can see, I think it looks like they're going to the finish to me.
Yeah, every driver looks like.
Somebody flashing their lights, Pointy getting out of the way, but
I'm sure they can go on fuel, but what about tires?
Yeah, you might be eating the tires up. Yeah, that's a big question here.
All depends on how bad they want it.
Oh, Rita gets into the back of Gunter.
Oh, she's not happy.
She's slowed up here. She's going to let him rebuild that lead to where it was. As you can see, she's holding up, and now she's going to get back in at about a second back.
Nice gesture.
She locked up doing 188 miles an hour into turn 2.
Oh, no, in the gravel.
And in the gravel now. She's having trouble with the car. All right, I'm going to turn it over to you guys for a second while I grab the little man. I'm going to go on to the... Rita goes sideways.
This is a very close race here. Rita's putting the pressure on.
Right back.
Oh, average spins out. He's back on the track now.
Oh, looks like Rita had some trouble coming off of that corner. She got loose, slid up, and it looks like she might have had some contact with some lap traffic. Lap traffic is in the way here. Gunter's pulling away.
Oh, average spun out. He lost the position there to Remy.
Very tight racing up here. It looks like Gunter's finally got a little bit of breathing room. That's always good here on these courses.
Definitely
were talking about-
go off on Gunter.
As we were talking about tires there, Silver Bullet, what do you think? How long can they go on these rain tires in the rain conditions? I know it's not dry conditions, it's going to heat them up, but what can they do in this heavy rain conditions? Think they can go the rest of the race?
I think they'll be all right. But yet again, it could get dry. You don't know. Very unpredictable.
Yeah, this is true. But at this point, it looks like Rita has kind of really opened up this gap here. 5 seconds.
On the break
But
there.
it's never over with Gunter and Rita
Nope.
here.
It's not over till it's over.
Yep, Rita's a very cagey driver, and we'll see what she can do. She's obviously faster than him, but she's
I think
run him down a
experience will
couple
definitely
times.
play a factor into this. I think experience will win, but we
Yep.
shall see. I mean, Gunter's got a pretty good lead right now.
Oh, it's already down to 4 seconds now.
4-second story.
Yep. So, I mean, Rita's definitely faster than Gunter. She's just having some trouble getting through, as everybody is, getting through that turn 1 corner is very bad, and all these really hard corners in the rain here.
And Johnny, that's one of the hardest corners on the track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Very
it's tough
steep.
to, there's a lot going on there. It's an uphill corner, there's transition, there's banking, there's a very steep corner. Yeah.
Yep.
Tight. And it's wet.
And it's wet, yeah, most importantly. Now, I think it'd be a totally different race if it was dry. I think Rita would be up at the front.
Yeah, Gunter's very well equipped to run in the rain. Like I said, Rita
I'm
might
gonna
be a
make a
little bit
prediction.
faster. Well, no,
I'm
it's
going to
down
predict
almost
I'm going to
3
predict Rita's going to go for 3. Go, Gunter spins. No, who was that spun in front of Rita? Someone. Oh, sorry,
Yeah, I'm
Average.
not seeing Rita.
Average
Ryan
spun
Long
again.
Yep.
Average goes to the inside. Oh. Oh. Remy holds him off.
That is not a good sign for Gunter because Rita is in clear traffic now.
Yeah, let's get an eye on Gunter here, Rita. See how
Clear
they're
the
doing.
traffic in 4-second gap. Easily she can make that up in 12 laps with the
Definitely
way
using
Rita
that
is
curve
running.
on the free switch.
We'll have to
You
see
gotta-
what she can do. Like I said, I think Gunter was a little faster on the straights, and Rita can really catch him in the corners.
Yep.
As we get a long straightaway here, we can really see what the time difference is. It looks like about 4.5 seconds still.
I think cold tires also plays a factor as well.
She got through
Colder
turn 1
versus, you know.
pretty well that time. This is a really tight corner right there.
Yeah, it's very tight.
What is that?
Look,
That's
Gunter, hold.
well over 90-degree corner. I'm not
And for
familiar
Big
with
Blue-
this track. Where the hell are we?
We are at Red Bull.
Red Bull, okay.
Austria.
Okay.
I'll have to hurry back to the shop today.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling the double header today.
Yeah, you can see there's a lot of standing water down in the corner there, and
Yeah.
you want to run the inside line. It's the preferred
Yep.
line, but it's not preferred when you're slipping and sliding through the water.
You definitely want to try to avoid the puddles. Or else it will go for a really wild ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't run the preferred line here in the rain, looks like.
It looks like Rita's struggling a little bit, going left and right. Maybe hitting some puddles.
Mm-hmm. Gunter is just commenting now. He's just dropping a tire off into the puddle a little bit, and it rotates
Wow.
the corner and
Oh,
helps
Rita's
him
spun a
do
little
it.
bit. Average Gamer catching Remy up there for 3rd position. He's closing the gap pretty quickly.
Rita's caught right up. It's only like a 2.5 second.
Oh, Remy
Yeah.
off. Average has got, Remy comes back. Average is off now.
I'm working the cameras, guys. I just got the mic muted because there's noise in the background.
Yep,
Gunter
sounds like our
extends.
4th commentator's in the room there. The color
Little one.
man. So yeah, Gunter's pulling out to a very nice, trying to maintain this lead here with 10 laps to go. It's just about a 2.2 second advantage here over Rita. And
He's got to
Rita's
be
coming.
loving this position right now, Johnny. He's got to be loving this position, knowing that you're out front in front of a champion. He's got to love that feeling.
It's a good feeling, but you know there's a champion behind you, and she wants to win more than anybody.
Is the pressure
And
on? Is my question. Is the pressure going to get to Gunter?
He's feeling it. He's feeling it right now. It's whether he can maintain under pressure or not.
Let's see what happens.
But like I said, Rita has all but erased that lead. She's way faster than him, but catching and passing are two different things.
You see it right here in the corner. Look, she just catched him. A little bit at a time. That's all it takes. If she gets that momentum going, I think she'll catch him. All about putting that perfect lap time down, Johnny. Not screwing up. Not getting into the puddles and see that.
Like
really
Marcus
slick there on the
Ambrose used
inside.
to say, it's not about running the whole course correctly. It's just, you know, every corner you get into, you try to minimize your mistakes.
That's
Every
just
corner
it.
is a new corner. You're looking at it, and you go into it, and you just try to do the best you can in each one.
That's a good anthology to live by.
That's a good
Especially
point,
when it comes to
JB.
this
As you look at a race on a track like this, it's 58 laps, say 10 turns or so. It's not a 58 lap race. It's a 580 turn race.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Or running, you run at Texas. We run the, Southern 500. It's not 200 laps at Texas. It's 800 turns at Texas.
Yep,
Is it just
400
me, or is
corners.
it just start to downpour?
Yeah, it's coming down strong
Wow.
now.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of lightning, too. Might
That'll
have to call
definitely
this for
change it.
weather. What if we get a tornado? You got to stop the race?
Yeah, red flag.
I gotta applaud those fans.
They're
Though.
still
They've
sitting
been out
there,
in
yeah.
the rain, man. Yeah.
Rita was
Really-
so close
really
in that
good. Oh, yeah.
tight hairpin there.
Average is all over Remy here now. I know from having chased Remy down while he was winning his Indy 500, he's not going to blink when somebody's on his tail like that. He's just going to keep
Remy's
his
got
eye.
nerves of steel. It's not the nerves that get Remy.
We used to always say about Remy, even back in the GT6 days, is that Remy's one of those drivers that if he doesn't beat himself, if he doesn't make a bad pit stop or put it in the wall in a bad spot, if you put him nose to nose, door to door with somebody for a win, he's as good as anybody. Even somebody who's been quicker than him all race, he's just as good when you put him side by side and the spot on the line.
He definitely doesn't get scared into those situations. He just kind of, sometimes he'll drive over his head or, like you say, have some pit strategy issues, but it's not the nerves that are getting to him. He's got nerves of steel. Speaking of nerves of steel, Gunter is trying to hold off Rita there. She was at his bumper. They don't have bumpers, but she was at his rear wing thingy, and that was super close going down in turn one that time.
And it looks like they're all over it with just 8 to go.
Oh, they're passing Squeeze. He pulled over and let the leaders go. Nice job by the rookie there. Letting them battle it out here with 7 laps to go.
How long is too long before you wait, though? Before you have to go? What lap you got to really start saying, okay, I got to get this together.
Now.
I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, you need to do it whenever the opportunity's there.
Trying to go. Yeah, Rita's been trying to go for the last 10 laps. Like, she just isn't there yet.
Yeah.
Like,
I think she's
none of these
sizing
people are
them up.
holding anything back. I don't think so. None of these people are holding anything
Yeah.
back. Gunter's doing all he can to stay in the lead, and Rita's doing all she can to catch him.
I'll give you an example of how that changes depending on the car you're in, Silver. If we're running Indy cars at Indianapolis, I will wait till the right time to make the pass. But if we're running Winston Cup cars at Indianapolis, I just want to get by them as soon as you can. It's the same thing
If
here.
you're running Winston Cup cars to Daytona, you're just waiting for the good spot to do
Wait
it.
for
But
the big one.
if you're in a Winston Cup car at Watkins Glen, you got to get it done.
Yeah, same thing here. Road race, you just got to get by them whenever you can. Rita would, but she's catching them. She can't pass them. Gunter's running a defensive line.
So we
that
know
was close.
we know fuel's not an issue. We know tires aren't the issue. Maybe for some, but not all.
Gunter's
the
been
real
out
question
for a
here
few
is-
laps longer than Rita, not much. So no, I don't think the tires are the
I
issue.
think the real question here is, how bad do you want it?
Yeah, you got to
How
find
bad
the right
do you
move.
want to get that win? Rita looking for her third win, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, she's
gonna
won the
get it done
last two
today.
Grand Prix exhibitions.
Rita gets it done today.
Oh, Gunter got a little bit too far into the wet that time. He tried to grab a little bit too much, get down on that preferred line, and he went straight through all 4 tires in the puddle and slid sideways.
I'm casting my vote for Rita.
They
We'll
are
see.
both going as hard as they can, but Rita can slip up too. She's done it many times this race.
Looks like Average
She does
Gamer
have the
made the
experience.
pass. Average Gamer got by Remy
Average,
for
yep.
third place.
An average gamer in the mix now, but I don't think there's enough laps, Carolyn.
Yeah, there's not enough time for him. Even if he's not running faster than the leaders, he's just keeping pace with them.
Unless they really mess up at the front, he won't catch them, I don't think.
Yeah,
No,
if they both spin off, a 21-second deficit is not that much, but I don't see either of these drivers. I mean, Gunter and Rita are both top-notch drivers. I
mean,
don't
I
see
give
either of
them-
them
I
making
give
huge
them-
mistakes.
I'll give him a really good effort, though. The average hanging in there,
Yeah.
man. Podium.
Average
We got to
has done
give a
good
call.
job.
We got to give a call before we get back to the lead real quick for Sanzo. He's a real promising rookie, another Dutch driver.
Yep.
He's run quite a few of these races on the international tour time slot, and he's been quick. He's won a pole actually. He won the pole at Sonoma in these cars. He just has not got the strategy down quite. As Rita made the pass, Gunter got squirrely and Rita got by him.
Rita makes the pass.
Yeah, Gunter
Yep.
got squirrely going into a puddle, but she's
Oh,
got to
yeah,
deal with
he
the same
got
thing.
really loose. He
Wow.
kicked the entire car sideways on the straight. It was just a puddle that he hit. He wasn't making a big turn or anything.
4
he just
laps
hit a
to go
big
now,
puddle.
guys.
All 4 tires slid.
And she's
now
stretching.
Rita is in front and pulling away.
Yeah, she's pulling away and stretching now. Let's take a look at the battle for third. We'll
She
get
has no
on the chase cam.
restrictions now.
Yeah, we'll get on the chase cam with Remy as he's going to try to get back in that third place spot.
Fighting for a podium here. And if it was the regular season, it would be points.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. All the guys who finished would score championship points, and that's why you want to finish. That would be a big gap in points too to get up into third.
Yep.
The thing is, you
Yeah,
can't
looks
push
like-
harder here. You can't push harder to go faster. All you can do is be smoother.
Let's talk about Pointy for a few minutes. How's his race been? I mean, he's been out there, past.
Whoa! Remy
Oh.
just wiped out Average Gamer.
Wow. That
And it
must
looks-
be good.
It looks like he's going to check up here and give the spot back rather than take a penalty. Yeah, you can see him waiting here. He just completely got into the back of him going into turn 5, I believe, and wiped him out. I believe
Blowing
he's
him up
looking.
a bit, I think.
Yeah, he's looking for a spot to let him pass by.
He's looking. Average is looking. Will we take it? Here he comes. On the inside. Oh. Go wide there. Maybe he'll get him down the back stretch. Front stretch here. No, I don't think he will. Oh, Remy went wide. Nope.
As Rita's stretching out that lead up front now.
Yep. Business as usual. She's using the entire track and getting after it. An Average Gamer Gunter's doing all he can
puddle.
to try and pick it up.
Gunter avoiding the puddles. Let's see what he can do with it with less than 3 laps to go.
As here they are, still nose to tail for third place.
I think we might see another accident here between Remy and Average. I'm not sure, but they're getting it. They're getting after it in a hurry.
Yeah, Remy did that, then held up, got him back into the race, which is, in that circumstance would be enough, in my opinion, to waive off a penalty. But Average still has to make the move here. Same deal. It's catching him and making the pass. He's fast enough to catch him. We've seen him do it 2 or 3 times already. But
Yep. Remy was just showing Average that he didn't mean to do that. and now they're really battling it out hard and heavy here.
I think Average is just sizing them up myself.
He knows he's
Reedy
got.
gets super wide there.
Yep, he's got him. No. Remy. Still in the third.
There's just even when he's got a shot here, but there's nowhere to go. That's the problem. He doesn't have enough of a line. He might have a shot here. Doesn't have
not missing anything up front. Reed is pulling away still.
Average almost had him there.
And don't look at Sanzo has slowly closed the gap on these guys. I don't think he's got time to catch him 5 seconds back, but he's slowly closed the gap from 5th place in on him as well. And there goes Average Gamer.
Laps?
Average just went around.
Wow.
Around he goes. He hits the puddle. He turned off his. Looks to me like he turned off his stability control to run in the. Try to get a little more speed, and it cost him badly.
I don't know if
and
that would be
Average Gamer might have been able to save that.
Yeah. That was the classic getting baited into thinking of turning that stuff off when the conditions don't call for it. He should have just stayed pat. But, yeah, that was a problem. He's still got a shot at him.
Gives a chance to get up into 4th right here.
Gives him a chance for 3rd as he's caught. It looks like Remy hit a puddle or something.
I think he'll get it.
Rita's got 2 to go. Back on board.
The top 2 spots changing here in the last lap here.
Not at the moment.
Anything can happen.
All right, 3, 4, 5, right nose to tail pretty much. We're on board with Sanzo.
Qualifier dodges a spinning traffic, and he is off into the grass, went into the sand, trying to get back on the track, slipping and sliding. Don't know who that lap traffic was. I think it was Pointy, and he had to avoid punting and went off into the dirt and into the sand and the grass, back on the track, and now he is 4.5 seconds behind the leader. Nice recovery not to spin it though.
Yeah, them's the brakes. These 3 still going at it, still on board with Sanzo. That puddle's getting so wide, there's only one line through there.
Are we on the final lap yet?
We are on the final lap.
Yeah. We are. Okay, we are on the final lap.
As Rita's fighting it through here.
She could spin, but I don't see it happening.
Get back on this battle real quick before we jump on board Rita. Average has one more shot.
Can he do it?
I don't think he's close.
Average, as you would say.
I don't think he's close enough now. Unless Remy has a problem, I don't think he's close enough. Rita's coming around. We'll get to that in a moment. But Average is close. He's trying.
Give him that.
He's making the move.
Here he comes.
He's fighting for it.
A little loose, but.
All right, let's get it up to Rita St. James, who's coming off the final turn, her 3rd straight Formula One Grand Prix victory.
How about that? Rita St. James.
As Rita brings it home.
JME.
Number 1, Guntar is going to bring it home number 2 for Green Mountain Enterprises. Remy Sanzo got by Average Gamer, who obviously had another bobble.
Sanzo up to 4th now. Look, he's going to be...
and he spins it.
Sanzo.
Remy spins it. Remy spins it. Average Gamer goes off. And Sanzo jumps up into the... That's why you grind it out, guys.
For Sanzo, for the rookie.
Yeah, that's why you grind it out, guys. Look at that. He's going to bring it home in 3rd place.
Wow. I didn't expect that at all, Carolyn and Johnny.
No kidding. Not expect to see that from Remy. It looks like he's going to take 3rd. Remy trying to hold on for 4th. He's got Average Gamer well behind him now. It's a lap car coming through.
And we got Average Gamer coming through here now. Yeah. All over the place.
Banging around. He's going to hang on to round out the top 5. But Rita St. James is our winner for JME Motorsports. Let's get that screenshot real quick. Yeah, we'll get the race winner in here. I'm going to take the screenshot. All right, so there's your final results at the SCL Austrian Grand Prix. Rita St. James from JME Motorsports takes the win. Guntar with 2nd. They had a heck of a battle. Sanzo staying on it to finish 3rd. Remy in 4th. Average Gamer 5th. Pointy was 6th. Itchy Boy Squash 7th place. on.
Maybe we can get Sanzo in here and get his.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do real quick. She's my pick to win a championship. I mean, she's killing it.
Hard to beat over here in the F1 series. A lot of people don't realize Rita started off as a BSE driver, and I'd like to think I gave her a little bit of the pointers or ground rules here to get started, but that's all talent out of that girl.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
you're trying to say something, Ronnie. Are you trying to say something?
No, he's right. She hit the ground with when she joined JME in season 22. She had it all together. Yeah. She knew what she was doing.
I'm talking about for me, because I'm with BSE now, newly signed.
Yeah, that's your start. You got a ride with a top team, so make the best of it.
I've helped out a lot of rookies get their start, and then JME swoops in and takes them.
Signs them up, yeah. All right, let's see if we can get Sanzo in here as they're giving their conversation at the end of the race.
A big sigh out of Remy there after the race.
And got to get Gunter in here too, actually. Get the top 3 in during one of these races. Yeah, he finished where I usually do the podium in a single class race and the 2 class winners in a multi-class race.
Okay.
Sanzo we might not get. How you doing, Gunter?
Gunter, you had the lead. Tell us about it, but then you lost it.
Yeah, what was that all about?
I thought you did a great job defensive driving. You were not giving her a line to get by you. And if the puddles hadn't caught you out like they did a bunch of people, I think you'd have been golden, but a terrific run to finish in second place.
And it looked like you were still in contention there all the way to the end until you got messed up with that, I think it was pointy lap traffic there and went off the track. Good job of not spinning out, driving.
Yeah, it was an excellent run. I don't know if we'll get him in here. I don't think he's online. He probably jumped off to take a break, but we had to give a shout out to Sanzo, the rookie, qualified 5th, was running lap times with the leaders, and then he stayed there so that when Remy and Average had their problem, he moved up and took a podium. But looking to get Rita in here, but she's still chatting.
What do you think of this track there, Gunter? I mean, you had a good run. Do you like this place? You think you have some good luck here? What are you going to do next time you come back?
Technical.
Yeah, you ran a hell of a race.
No, you put on a good show for your team there, Green Mountain.
Yeah, you did, no doubt. Great race. Let's, Johnny, why don't you do our winners interview while I check our comments.
There at the end. What do you think there? How'd you pull this one off, Rita?
Let me just check. That's fine. It was hard because in all that spray, it became dry halfway through, and I was contemplating coming in, putting dries on. I thought I could be 2 seconds ahead more, but I thought, no, I'm going to stick on wets you know, and I knew that I pitted early, and once I knew that I got up to Guntar, I knew that he still had to pit and I still had to pit, so I knew he was 18 seconds in front and I needed 14 seconds, you know. But I had a bit of a kerfuffle in the pits where Remy span in the pits, which held me.
Yeah,
and
we
I
saw
couldn't
that.
move, you know. And there's me shouting, Remy, get out of the way, get out of the way. But of course, I caught up with Guntar, but it's one thing catching and it's another thing passing. You know, and I was stuck in his
especially with
spray
the
all
spray.
the time.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
with the
and
spray, you can't
then I
really tell where you
outbraked
are.
myself. Yeah, I outbraked myself and hit him off. So then I backed off as well, gave him back the position, you know. And then I hit a puddle, which then I lost
Yep.
about 5 seconds to him. So then I just had to get my head down and keep going, hoping he'd make a mistake, you know.
Yeah,
And
you were
we were
having
close.
trouble
And
there
then
in
he hit
turn 1 all day.
yeah, all day. And then he hit a puddle, which we almost took us both out because I think I clipped him as well, you know. But of course, then that gave me that lead, and I was able to maintain it once I had
You
no
were
rain,
my
no
pick,
spray.
Rita. You were my pick.
Oh, thank you. But it was a very good race. I mean, Gunter and I, and when I
Yeah,
was racing
take
the others,
nothing away from Gunter,
very
man.
good.
He did a really
No,
awesome job. I'm
if
surprised.
I'll be honest, if he hadn't have made that mistake, I don't think I would have got past him because he was like a bus. He was so wide, you know. It was, and the track being wet is very hard.
You held it together.
No, you were doing really good with your defensive driving there. The only thing you couldn't defend was the puddle.
Yeah. And
Were your temps okay in your engine there, Gunter? We had a lot of blown engines today.
oh yeah, a lot of attrition.
Good.
Yeah, Remy, that was a hell of a battle for the podium. Remy hit a puddle, spun out there. He'll tell us about what happened, but there was that big wreck with average that happened down there in turn 3. Tell us about your
That
race,
was a hell
Remy.
of a battle
Remy?
for third.
You ended up 5th, I believe, but you were our pole sitter and had a podium in the hand.
Yeah, well, I finished top 5, and we knew with Jamie we had a good strategy halfway during the race. Same as Rita, thinking about, oh, what are we gonna do? Gonna stick out with the wet tires, or we're gonna go for the softs or the dry tires. And luckily for us, 2 laps before our planned stop, it began to rain. Came out on track on 3rd with an average right up, and every time we come together, it's always battle. And while we were battling, Sanso was having the time to catch us up, and well, average hit me and I hit average, so it's
It was about
equal. I
about
would
equal.
say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw you make
Yeah.
that contact. You would have, in my opinion, and I'm making a spot call on it because I could have thrown a black flag from the booth, was that you checked up and waited for him to get back in the battle. And so that's
Yep.
enough to wave it off when you don't, when you have no cautions to call. That's enough for me to wave off getting
No.
black flag.
And
Yep.
in wet conditions, it's even harder to tell who's at fault.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
he
he's
locked
lining
him
up.
up. He locked him up in
Yep.
front of you, and you were, it's like when Rita hit Guntar. She was going too fast for the chance to stop when he bogged up a little bit, and that's just one of those
Well,
things.
at first, I thought he was brake testing me because his braking point was much later in that turn, and now he was way early on his brakes, so that's why I hit him.
Remy, I got a
Yeah.
question for you.
Yeah,
No drama or drama?
no drama. We had
No
fun
drama.
today, man.
Okay.
No
we got
drama.
no drama. We got a confirmation from Remy there, guys. No drama. You heard it first.
That was a fun race, but yeah, I got to get ready to wrap it up, guys, and get a nap in, so I might be able to be awake for the Cup race today. But hell of a show, everybody. Great job, Rita and Guntar and Sanzo, who's not here, who got the podium. And we'll catch you guys. Got to get on the corporate jet and catch you guys in Indianapolis later today. JB, hopefully I'll see you about 4 o'clock your
Yep,
time
great
there.
racing there, guys.
All right, have a good one, everybody. All right, yeah, anytime, JB. I'll see you later today, JB, in qualifying. All right, have a good one.